Alright. This is Twin Elms.
Of course.
Of course it is, yes, Adir, yes it is. We need to search Twin Elms for signs of Theos, and then we also have a whole bunch of stuff going on with a bunch of our party members that are all here for different reasons. Estremor, still. Who's Estremor? None of us are
Tread
Estremor.
carefully, Estremor.
The warrior saunters over, a sneer of suspicion visible beneath streaks of paint. He glances at your gear before favoring you with a long look. Another fugitive from the burning city. The 6 tribes of Irglanfath welcome you to Twin Elms. Before you lies the Heartsong district. You are free to explore it, but do not let your feet stray into the other districts. Those are forbidden to Estremorn. What can you tell me about Twin Elms? The city is sacred to all Glanfathans, as it is the place where our ancestors first encountered the Builders. That fated meeting turned our people from generations of wandering to a permanent home among the Builders' relics. When the Builders commanded us to settle here, they allowed us the unique privilege to live among their structures here. It is the only place in Irglanfath where this is permitted. The sacred city is divided into 4 districts: Heartsong, the Commons District; Old Song, the site of our temples; Elm's Reach, home of Delimgan and Druids; and the Burial Isle, which is the most sacred place in the city. I would first like to hear about Heartsong. This is Heartsong. It is a place where Glanfathans and Estremorn may gather together. It is also the site of the Passage of the Six, where our tribal leaders, the Amphatha, meet. He points to a large, round building at the other end of the district. That way is the market. Guard your purse there. No one bargains like a Glanfathan. And if you need a place to stay, follow the fence to the east. There you will find your way to the Celestial Sapling. Which temples lie in Old Song? There is Noonfrost, which is dedicated to Rimmergand. A group of pale elves from the frozen Southlands arrived not long ago to oversee it. There is also the Nest, a temple of Halia, and Galamane's Maw, a den of beasts dedicated to Hunter God. The route to the Burial Isle also lies that way. Yeah, 1 sec, let me make an adjustment. Okay. Tell me about Elm's Reach. There lies Tir Evron, one of the only towers of the Builders still in perfect condition. 2 great elm trees twine it. Even the mightiest works of the gods protect the works of the Builders. 2 Delimgan sisters dwell there now. The Hall of Warriors stands at the other end of the district. Rumor has it that Amphath Simok of 3 Tusks Stelgar is there now. Elm's Reach is where the Druids keep their halls. There are the Ovates of the Golden Grove and the Ethic Knoll of Bloodsands. Many shudder at the brutal sacrifices of the Ethic Knoll, but High Ovate Arona is just as powerful in her own way. My watcher friend, Heravias pipes up from behind you. I would be honored to accompany you to Elm's Reach to meet those druids, so I'm a bit wary of any circle with a reputation for brutal sacrifices. As am I. Do you know anything about the Burial Isle? Excuse me. It is the place where our Amphatha are laid to rest among stones placed by the Builders. They say the soul of some of the Amphatha linger there still. The way lies through Old Song. It is the holiest place in all of Twin Elms. That's all I wanted to know about the city. Something else you wish to hear? Yeah, why is it forbidden to enter the remaining districts of Twin Elms? Because I planned on maybe going through all 4 districts today, and you're totally holding up my stream if I can. Twin Elms is a sacred city, built where the first keepers of the stone met the Builders. It exists alongside the works of the Builders, and it is the only place in all of Irglanfath where it is permitted to set foot among these sacred places. Estremorn, however, do not have proper respect for the stones here. His words trigger something in your memory. You see an image of a perfect cube of Adra. Just as quickly, the image fades. A leader of one of the tribes could give you the permission of the city. Only an Amphath Bethwill is present in the Passage of the Six today. She has her own troubles. He jerks his head at a long hut in the middle of the district. You have other questions about Twin Elms? I haven't heard of the Keepers of the Stone. The oldest of the 6 tribes. He points the tip of his sword at a long hut behind him. Up the stairs and into the passage of the 6. This is where our Amphatha gather. Bethel, the Amphath of the Gilded Compass, can tell you more. Who are the builders? You know them as the Ingwithans. To us, they are the builders, creators of the sacred places that we guard to this day. I'll keep your words in mind. Best that you keep your visit brief. Word has reached our ears that the riots have ended and the gates of Defiance Bay have opened once more. Which means I can do that quest for Maska, I think her name was. Sweet. Let's do this. Do you have anything to say, you specific warrior? Words are empty without strength to back them up.
This is where the famous hunters of Air Glanfoth dwell?
Evidently so. It did happen. The warriors saw the strange man break into Tir Everon. How could the Estremor intruder sneak over the grounds of Elmsreach? Probably the same way I'm probably going to end up doing it. I assure you, they saw the man break into Tir Everon. An Orlan dressed in thick furs appears immersed in conversation. He locks his hands together to emphasize his point. I speak true. He commanded strange powers, they claim. An elven woman lifts her eyes from her furry companion and nods in your direction. Another foreigner. Did he look like this one? The Orlan turns around.
Many blessings, traveler.
What is it, Estremor? Tell me about the man you speak of. A strange man, a foreigner, broke into Tir Everon, the tower under the giant elms. Estremor cannot walk the grounds of Elmsreach. Why was he allowed to pass? This one was unseen. He wielded a strange power we now know. What's Tir Everon? Tir Everon has stood since the time of the builders, and it will stand long after we're all gone. Yes, the tower stands strong, and the gods live within its sacred halls. It is no place for unclean souls or foreigners. Well, that's very not nice of you. You said the gods live in Tir Everon. How is that possible? I mean, they're gods. They're supposed to live in the clouds, aren't they? The mysteries of our ancestors are not for every foreigner to understand. In Twin Elms, in the temples of the builders, the gods commune with us. Be sated in knowing this truth. Goodbye. Do you have anything to say, Stelgart? No, you don't. Well, that's a wicked-looking helm that guy's got on. Oh, he's, whoops, I haven't come across any Kickstart backers in a while. Because they're not in the DLC, from what I can tell. Alright, let's start making our way over to this collection of stuff over here. Our Amphath... that word is going to mess me up all day. Careful thought involves much indeed. He said earlier, because it's actually in the window there, our Amphatha oversee Twin Elms from Passage of the 6. Many Estremorn come to study our mathematics. I don't. I hate math. Why do you wear such funny clothes? Because I'm a funny man. Green trails to you, Estremor. He's a very polite individual. Not everybody here is rude. Apparently we can't go in there. Old song reminds us of our past and the builder's footprint. Glanfathans don't take jests well, and it's dangerous to offend them. She'll pay. That witch, she'll... Excuse me. Fuming with anger and pacing in tiny circles, the Valiant merchant aims his wild ran at you as you approach. Oh, we've got a Karen. You there. Have you come to trade with the savages? Learn from my example and take your business elsewhere. Spittle accents is every sentence. Liars, cheats, swindlers. That duplicitous bitch, Alarhi, she claimed to be selling Eldard Gola flower buds, but now all I have is 6 bushels of common house plants. The herbs are useless. He throws a handful of dried plants to the ground, stomping on the brittle stems and leaves, kicking up pungent, savory scents. I'll get my money back from the swindling savage. What did Alarhi say when you confronted her? Nothing of substance, he quickly mutters. She defended herself, of course, saying the herbs were legitimate. Why would she lie? Why wouldn't she lie? No one will value my word over hers. He spits on the ground. Alarhi can lie with impunity when surrounded by her gangs of savage thugs. What is Eldard Gola besides another word for me to trip over? Excuse me. Renato's rage abates for a moment and his face twists into a nervous smile. Eldard Gola is a plant that grows in the jungles of Irglanfath. He clears his throat, lowering his voice. When dried and consumed or brewed into a tea, it's known to enhance one's drive for the better pleasures in life. Boom, chicka chick brow. You tested the remedy on yourself. Well, Renato fidgets in place, his hands smoothing the creases in his tunic. How can I sell a remedy I have not tested? Of course I tried the herb. Imagine what would happen if I peddled this pale imitation. Renato clears his throat, his voice goes quiet. The herb did not have its intended effect. The only thing it made hard was not vomiting. Sucks to be you, buddy. What do you intend to do about this? When I get my hands on... Renato halts his sentence, his eyes darting about at the nearby Glanfathan guards. I'm in the savage's home court, so it's my word against hers. Where does that leave me? I'd be a fool to threaten her here, on tribal soil. He sighs, pressing on his temples. I cannot sell this worthless herb to recover my coin, and I am powerless to confront Alarhi. I don't suppose, he looks at you, sizing you up. If you were willing to mediate, perhaps you could succeed where I failed. I would, of course, pay you handsomely for your troubles. I'll see what I can do.
Hail, traveler.
What do you have for sale? Renato looks away from you, scratching his neck and shifting his feet. I am destitute and have but a few meager offerings left to sell. How dreadfully embarrassing. If I can recover my investment from Alarhi, I'll have funds to resupply my stores. Until then, you're welcome to take a look at what I still have in stock. Yeah, you've got nothing I'm interested in. Glanfathan, you said that already. Oh, is that an ogre? How did I not see you all this time? The Celestial Sapling. Is there a way to get to you? I guess I can go around this way. That must lead to another district that I'm not supposed to be in, I'm guessing. Because they said I couldn't go anywhere else. Celestial Sapling. Hold up a second. Oh, maybe that's something else. Provisions and trade happens in a market, Northwest Hearthsong. You want up, I pull. Alright, I'll let you pull later. Let me check out what's going on over here. Check out one map before I go explore another. Unlocking this will require the proper key. Sagani's lockpicks are evidently not the answer. What's this? Guess I can't see it from that angle. Stelgar and protectors. You're gonna tell me I can't go this way. The guard places his spear between you and the path that leads beyond the gates. Still, Estremor, the rest of the city is forbidden except by order of one of the Anfatha. Trespassing in Twin Elms is punishable by death. Oh, you guys are pretty extreme about this. Nice spear. Compensating for something? Nah, how do I get permission from one of the Anfatha? He grudgingly points to a long hut in the middle of the district. You can always find one of the Anamfatha in the Passage of the Six. Perhaps Anamanthath Bethwell will listen if she can tolerate your barbaric language. Excuse me, dear sir, do you have a problem with barbarians by chance? I'll take that Orland's Cradle, and I better not mess with that barrel. Probably nothing in it I need right this second anyway. Alright, well that was a lot quicker to explore that than I thought it was going to be. Just got to remember to go back to that place to be pulled up to see whatever that is. Where the ogre is. Stelgar Protector, we're going to stop us here too. Okay, you guys, do not try my patience, Estremor. You shall not pass without the permission of the Anamfatha. I will master that word by the end of the stream. Hi, can I go in this building, or are you going to stick your spear in front of me? I can go in. The twice split arrows. The three tusk Stelgar. The stone bramble. The fisher crane. You're a Kickstarter, I think. I have a hard time seeing those gold backings. I must be getting old. Well, I am getting old, but... The Guided Compass. The Keepers of the Stone.
Wait. I don't know if I should go through with this. Make the trade deal with the Anamenfath.
Anamenfath. That's how you pronounce it. I am totally gonna mess that up later. Hey, Sunnif. How goes it?
If a Valiant deal with the Glanfathens weakens the Deerwood, it could mean war for the Republics in the future.
What other option do you have?
I could put the idea in the Anamenfath's head that the Republics are not interested in exclusive trade, but limited trade of goods that they do not already trade with the Deerwoodens.
Well, I am... excuse me. I am very happy for you, Sunnif. I'm doing pretty good. Kind of tired. I did not sleep good yesterday. Slept for like an hour, woke up. Took me 3 hours to fall back asleep, and when I finally did wake up again, still hadn't slept enough, and I got up way later than I wanted to. So, I'm a touch groggy, but I'll live. Follow your heart, Pelagina. You alone know what must be done. She nods her head resolutely. When in doubt, follow your heart. That's what I always say. I probably should have saved it before I did this, but oh well.
Another Estremor. What do you want?
A middle-aged Orlan woman stands at the back of the longhouse. As my throat slowly dies, an expression of irritation on her narrow features. As you approach, she takes a decisive step towards you. Skani leads in. Careful. This woman's young for an elder, and looking to prove herself, I think. Yes. Words to live by. Very, very wise words. Or go right. And isn't it all about the experiences? Isn't that what life's truly all about? I want to visit the other districts of Twin Elms.
There are reasons we don't let you Estramoran roam our sacred city. Reasons I am coming to understand.
Yeah, but I'm really awesome. I'm like level 12. Has something happened recently? More than I care to think about.
Looters have grown bolder at the sites of the builders. The people of Defiance Bay set fire to their own city. And every week, the 3 Tusk Stelgar bring news of more desperate settlers pushing at our borders, trying to escape their plague of Anolfane children.
Suddenly you feel the presence of someone else in the hall. The Anamenvath, I cannot get that word, continues to glare at you, but something has stepped out of her skin. It reaches out to you. I finished White March 1. I got about halfway into White March 2, and then decided to do a little bit more of the main quest. I was mainly afraid that if I did White March 2, if I did all of it, I was going to end up super overpowered for the main quest a bit, so I decided to take a little bit of a break from it, but I'll go back to it. I stopped right before I went into the Iron Flail Fort.
Permitting more strangers the freedom of the city is out of the question right now. Go and be thankful that Anamfath Shimak doesn't sit in the Passage of the Six today. He would not be so kind as I.
A vision of an Orlan man appears near Bethwell. He has the same green-brown fur and hazel eyes as she does. Help me reason with them. He points behind you. Turning, you see the ghostly shapes of 5 other Amphatha. Another Orlan with tawny fur and a scarred face. A frowning dwarf, a black-furred Orlan, and 2 elves. You're angry about something. I hear it in your voice. What is it? Are you the outrages... Jesus. Are the outrages I listed for you not enough? Trouble brews, and none of it is my choosing. Spectral Orlan takes another step from her, setting his foot down with a slow, heavy motion. Tendrils of essence strain between them, and he grimaces and leans forward as if struggling against a gale. The angry Anamfath winces. War. The spectral Orlan's voice is a rasping croak. They're headed for war. Remind them of Furwild's warning. Is there not a lot of the main quest left? Or like the other acts, like fairly short? Like Act 3, I think this goes up to Act 5, right? Listen, does Furwild's warning mean anything to you? Furwild's soul image gasps. Taut threads of essence tug at him, drawing him back into the Anamfath. He looks at you again. I tried to tell them. The Builder's souls have touched even the Estramoran.
You'd better explain yourself.
The Builder's souls have touched even the Estramoran. I mean, come on already.
There's no way you could have known this saying. Not unless you are a Galuth on Anams, a watcher of souls.
Yes, let's stick with watchers, because I can actually pronounce the word watcher. Yes, I'm a watcher. She nods. That explains much. Act 3 is mostly talking. Okay. I still gotta fit the Last of the Endless Paths in here too somewhere. And I'm still debating whether or not I want to try to kill that Alpine Dragon or not. I feel like I owe it since it killed me before.
Feralt's warning came before the Broken Stone War. Feralt, my ancestor on my mother's side, was Anamfoth of our tribe then. When the Estromoric farmers defiled the builders' monuments, Feralt urged the other Anamfotha to patience, but louder, angrier voices prevailed. Feralt believed that the invaders could be taught to respect the builders as we do. He also believed the builders' souls had spread to all peoples, and that we should avoid needless conflict with others. More practically, he worried that a violent response would only spur further bloodshed across the generations, and you can see where we are today.
Yeah, Alpine Dragon is probably going to be one of the last things I do. Master Below is only level 15. And the fight against Gathbin that you gotta do for Caed Nua, that one's really not going to be that bad though, is it? Ooh, Console Hot's higher level than I thought it was. What do you mean?
While Feralt's words were shrewd, they were ignored back then. Simply remembering his warning now will not undo the wars and the changes that the years have seen. There is blood on these stones, and that is all anyone remembers now.
You get help for the Gathbin fight by finishing up White March 2 though, don't you? Like, I know I'm over leveled for it probably, but I kind of want to go in there with as many allies as possible just because I hate Gathbin. An image of a polished Adra cube flashes into your mind. There is writing on the sides, but the image is too faint for you to read it. The Anamfath turns away from you and looks at the ground, gnawing a pointed claw. You can't change the past, but your choices now still matter. She looks at you sadly. Yes, that's the problem.
Another Estromor came through here a few days ago, and, well, letting him through was a mistake. One I am eager not to repeat. The Guided Compass tribe has a reputation for being too soft with Estromoran. One that will not be improved by my failure to stop this man who has desecrated our most sacred sites.
Sounds like the man I came here to stop.
I won't repeat a mistake in my haste to correct it. We bar Twin Elms from Estromoran to protect the ancient places that the Builders left behind. The Builders left this heritage to us to defend, but they alone had access to it. On this much, at least the 6 tribes agree.
You again see the polished Adra cornerstone in your mind. This time the image is clearer. Each face of the stone is inscribed with a phrase you know by heart. You feel your lips form words. A gift from the builders of civilization to the guardians of their legacy. May the guardians watch the door while the builders keep the key.
These were the words given to the keepers of the stone.
So, can I enter the rest of the city? Actually, what do they mean? She eyes you carefully. They mean that Felwit's words may indeed be true.
Very well. The city is yours to explore. Tell the guard at the gate that you come to see the cornerstone with the blessing of the Guided Compass. If the gods have truly returned one of the builders to us, find the Delimgon of Ter Evron in Elm's Reach. If the gods have sent you here with a purpose, the Delimgon will know.
In the meantime, I shall be here to assist you. What are the 6 tribes? Glenfathan society is divided into tribes, which are further divided into clans. Each tribe is united by a particular history or way of life, and clans are communities of families that live together. In truth, there are more than 6 tribes, but the 6 largest have traditionally led the others. Each of the 6 has a seat here in the Passage of the 6, where we discuss matters of common interest. You saw, for instance, the debate that occurred before the Broken Stone War. She gives you a hesitant look. Excuse me. No gods, no masters. Riots, indeed. Burn it down. The 6 tribes are the Keepers of the Stone, Fisher Crane, Three Tusk Stelgar, Stone Bramble, Twice Split Arrows, and of course the Guided Compass. Oh boy, there's all these different tribes. Who are the Keepers of the Stone? I have some in the basement. They are the first and oldest of the tribes. When they first sailed to Glenfath, they met the builders who gave them the cornerstone. Those words you quoted as a token of friendship. Many of the tribes, even among the 6, look to the Keepers for guidance and leadership. Their long history grants them a place of honor in our society, though it has also made them more conservative, in my observation. I'd like to hear about Fisher Crane. A mostly Orland tribe from the Thean Bog. Many of the sites they guard are half buried in the wetlands, and even the other tribes couldn't tell you where they are. She crosses her arms. They are not the most renowned of the tribes, but they are the cleverest and subtlest. Say what you will about the berserkers of Three Tusk Stelgar, I'd rather face them than a Fisher Crane ambush squad any day. What do you know about Three Tusk Stelgar? She laughs and shakes her head. Same as everybody. They're fearless maniacs, and they want everyone to know it. They're considered a wild bunch, even among Glenfathans. Many of their territories have seen the most conflict with the Estremorn, and they don't forget it. They don't want anyone else to, either. They inflicted and bore some of the heaviest casualties in the war with the Estremorn. In fact, there was a rift within Three Tusk Stelgar after the War of Black Trees. Dozens of clans broke away from the ravaged lands and retreated further into the Deerwood, joining whichever tribes would take them. Broken Tusks, some call them. The majority of the tribe dug into the half-burned forest to hold the line, and many respect them for it. Am I going to do Pillars 2? Yes, I am definitely going to do Pillars 2. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to do it directly after this game or not. I'm leaning towards yes. Originally, I was planning on doing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic next, as kind of like a break in between the two, but I think I might just jump right into 2. I kind of want to play 2 and like see how it differs a bit. Like, I'm interested in the whole boat thing. She frowns uneasily. They've more than earned their place among the 6, but they advocate more conflict than is wise, and too many others are quick to idolize them for their valor in battle. Tell me about Stone Bramble. Mostly dwarves out of the White March. They're one of the younger tribes, formed over the years by trade routes between the wilds and the mountains. They see themselves as genuinely Glenfathan, though, and who can argue with them? Only Fisher Crane defends sites in such inhospitable territory. Personally, though, I'd say it's gone to their heads. They like to think the rest of us have it easy in the lowlands, forgetting that the wars with the Estremorn never reached their mountains. Still, they came to our aid during both. They're named for a tough, thorny little plant that grows up in the mountains. It suits them. I'm not familiar with the Twice Split Arrows. Not many are. They're traditionally outcasts and exiles from other tribes. Probably the least respected tribe of them all, but our ancestors believe they should have a voice, and so they've got a seat among the 6. Most of the other tribes see them as scavengers and bottom feeders, but don't say that to a Twice Split Arrow. They think themselves survivors, and they're as proud of their tribe as anyone else. She shrugs. They'll accept anyone. I suppose there's virtue in that. You never know what you're getting with them, though. Some clans will rob you blind, and others will slaughter a lamb for the honor of your visit. Only the Forgotten Sanctum DLC is worth getting. You can import your Pillars 1 save. That's good. I was actually wondering about that. Pretty much every decision point in Pillar 1 has an effect on the sequel. There are a number of recurring characters. See, yeah, that's another reason I'm thinking about doing it next, is because this will still be fresh in my mind. Gilded Compass is your tribe, right? Indeed. We're one of the younger tribes, and not one of the most prestigious. We've tried to keep the pace with the Estremor, which has earned us the reputation of appeasers among some of our hardline brethren in Three Tusk, Stelgar, and the Keepers of the Stone. We value our heritage as Glenfathans, but we recognize that the Estremor are here to stay. The way we see it, we could better follow our mandate to protect the places of the Builders by making peace with our neighbors. I would like to ask about another matter. Something else you would know. I actually want to know about you. I am the Amphath of the Guided Compass. Like many an Amphath, Jesus, this word, I hate this word, an Amphatha, I have leadership in my blood. While tribal authority is not strictly hereditary, we believe that strong leaders can impart a portion of their soul to their children and grandchildren, meaning that an Amphatha may succeed from a single line for many generations. She worries a sharpened thumb claw. Of course, with all that's happened here lately, I've wondered whether my family's line is coming to an end with me. One of my companions, a representative of the Valian Republics, wishes to discuss a trade matter with you. Go get him, Pelagina. The Orlan turns her gaze towards Pelagina. Yes, the Valian godlike, blessed of Hylia. Pelagina bristles and quickly spits out a response. So they say. The Anamphath's face shows no outward emotion, but her voice betrays annoyance at Pelagina's interruption. And diplomat of the Duke Bells, I understand you were to be sent here with trade assurances from your masters. It's a very good reason. I missed half the references to Pillars 1 on my first run of the Pillars 2, even though I played them back to back because there's so many. Yeah. Like, this game has a lot going on in it, too. And part of my thing is when I wait in between sequels, I feel like I miss something because I didn't play the other one directly before, and I miss like all the little things in it. "50 things that change." That's cool. That's actually really cool. I like games like that where the sequel takes your previous decisions into account. So yeah, see, that makes me want to play it even more now. I'm going to have to watch on Steam because I'm usually very thrifty when it comes to buying games on sale, and I actually don't have Pillars 2 yet. But I'll buy it even if it's not on sale. The Amnempath's face shows no outward emotion, but her voice betrays annoyance. I read that already. Revered Enempath, it is true that I was chosen to convey these assurances, but understand that I was fashioned more for war than etiquette. The Orlan smirks slightly. In these dangerous times, perhaps it is better to send warriors to do diplomats' work. Pelagina musters a weak smile. Indeed. Enempath, regarding the exclusive trade agreement, her voice quivers slightly and her golden eyes dart in your direction. Don't bring me into this. Nod head, smiling warmly. Pelagina steels herself. The Republics feel it would be in the best long-term interest of all parties if you maintained your traditional goods trades with the Deerwood. The Anempath's long ears pitch forward. A strange turn. What did the Republics want then? Pelagina speaks quickly but confidently. Ta'andra Tara pearls. Trade will be picking up quickly on them in the Eastern Reach. You will buy them exclusively from us for the next 5 years. In exchange, we will be your exclusive market for Adraban and Corral Goland for the same period. The Anempath considers Pelagina's words for several long moments. An interesting proposition, Valian. We will send emissaries south to discuss the details at greater length. Your appearance here speaks well of your Duke's intentions. Pelagina bows deeply. Revered Anempath.
That's it. My position in the Brotherhood gone. I can't believe I just made up new trade terms to the Glanfath and Anamenfath. Postenago.
Pelagina, you did the right thing for the Republics. Even if the Dukes can't see it from their vantage, you can deal with their disapproval later.
Verus. They have a saying in Biajepe. New gold clears even the oldest debts. If I'm right, all will be forgiven. If not, there's nothing I can do about it now.
I think of 2 different instances or many more years than that would have passed. Yeah, I can see that happening just because there's probably so much stuff to keep track of. Like, you think with so many characters and so many things happening, there's going to be a few places where they're going to screw up. Quest updated. Assassin at large.
Hey.
A Wreath of Ashes added. The quest expires in 3 days. Quest completed. Child of 5 sons. Alright, Pelagina's quest is done. Wreath of Ashes. Phalian Republic of Palmenia. A military graveyard has been struck by vandals that burn tributes left for the dead. They're troubling to the Duchess. She has few local resources to deal with the problem, as the Republic will soon be celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Battle of Lagon Perella. The Duchess, whatever the heck it is, Duchess, would like to have the mystery solved quickly and quietly. Devil Grok's pretty quiet. She can do it. Yeah, more than likely.
Hey.
See, and my thing too is, I used to read comics a lot. So I'm like so used to stories where minor details are forgotten like that all the time. So that kind of thing's nothing to me. What the heck is my dog doing? Burger. Oh, he's streaming. He's like making all kinds of weird ass noises behind me. I'm like, what the heck? My brother fleeing in shame, I don't believe any of it. Arthwin is lying, this I claim. Are you somebody important? Yeah, you are. You have a name.
What brings you here?
Sensing your approach, an agitated elven hunter suddenly drops his conversation and turns to face you. What kind of courtesy have you learned in your filthy homeland? A red stripe of paint gleams pearly with sweat from cheekbone to cheekbone. We speak of Glanfath matters, begone. And I'm about to speak to you of a barbarian matter if you keep talking to me like that. Huntress in the group raises her calloused hand. Still your heart, Radai. Do not forget where you stand. She parts the fine strands of golden hair that float before her face and acknowledges you with a nod. In the house of our ancestors and the 6 tribes, we commune as one people. Radai looks away and fumes in a restrained breath. The ancestors will forgive me and my brother when I clean the shame away from his name. He looks at the huntress, and from Attain it is brought to our tribe. What happened to your brother? My brother. The hunter's heavy breathing pauses for a moment. My brother Ferome is the greatest hunter of our tribe. He set out on a blood hunt, but hasn't returned. And now, Arthwin, that puny liar, he claims that my brother... Radai clenches his fist. Give me a second. I'm like legit about to gargle some WD-40. My throat is not playing ball today. The elven huntress fills in the silence. Arthwin belongs to another tribe. He is a hunter that competed against Ferome during their blood hunt. She gives a glancing look to Radai. Arthwin claims that Ferome has exiled himself, deciding to not return to Twin Elms. Kitty woke me up from my nap this morning. She was sleeping peacefully next to my face when suddenly she flew up with like a half hiss and looked so fucking confused. Back when I had a cat years ago, mine would like sleep peacefully next to my face and then decide that she wanted to wake me up, so she would literally just walk on top of my face sometimes. She was very rude. I'll always remember Tifa though, she was a good cat. I actually miss having cats, but I have 3 dogs right now. They're actually my girlfriend's, but when I moved in, I obviously adopted them as daddy, I guess. They're good dogs. They all have their little things that can be a pain sometimes. One of them is an absolute glutton with food. Copper, he has anxiety. And Jaws, the beagle, I can't actually say anything about Jaws he does anymore. When he was a puppy, he ate a couch. That's actually how he got the name Jaws. Like, utterly destroyed a couch. But, he's past that phase, thankfully. Even though Arthwin returned with the giant Stelgar's fang as proof, it's hard to believe that Fjorm would have failed to kill the prey first. The hunter stakes her heel on the dark soil. But you cannot claim that yet, Radai. Not until an Amphath judge the truth. Arthwin's weak. From a lower tribe, Radai bares his teeth. He lies. I'll find the truth and clean my brother's name. Why would Arthwin lie about your brother? Radai throws his arms in the air. Why? He looks at you as if the answer were obvious. Radai, please, still your anger. He does not know our customs. The huntress turns to you and nods. Arthwin stands much to gain from claiming a victory over Fjorm. It brings renown and glory to his kin, a lesser tribe, the twice-split arrows. Arthwin has no history, no name, and now he returns a hero while my brother, Radai's face twists in ire. Tricked, perhaps worse. You mentioned a blood hunt. What is it? We prove our worth in a blood hunt. We set out to stalk and prey, always a dangerous creature, and only one kills it first. The elven huntress interrupts with an exasperated sigh. Yes, but we hunt as pairs, to bond, as Glanfathan, as one, not as enemies. 2 hunters, 2 tribes, 1 spirit. That is our way. Radai glowers in response. One way isn't to lie. We don't betray our brothers and sisters for our own gain. The blood hunt between your brother and Arthwin has broken the communion of our tribes, Radai. Do not dig in this wound until you can claim the truth. She turns again to face you. Perhaps our customs appear strange to you, but despite what you see now, we Glanfathans hold our bonds sacred. Tell me about your tribe. Radai's voice swells with pride, for a moment holding his anger at bay. We're the keepers of the stone. He lets the name reverberate in the hall. We're the first tribe. Our history runs across the ages to the time of the builders. The huntress nods. We are one with the past, with our traditions and history. The best crafts and hunts come from our kin. Other tribes look up to our prowess. They're consumed by envy, Radai frowns. That's why Arthwin lies about my brother. His tribe has no history, no glory. Now he claims it for the twice-split arrows, while we're left to bury false shame. Yeah, I wonder what happened with Copper, that he has kind of anxiety. I don't know if he's just really, really clingy about my girlfriend, his mom, because she got him and Ruger. I believe she said she was shown them, I guess it was like from a puppy mill or something, and they were in not great conditions, and that was one of the reasons she ended up getting them, to get them out of there. And like, I don't know if something happened to him then, or if he's just like a trait that he was born with or what, but he gets real anxious when she's around. Like, he wants her attention really bad. And he gets jealous with the other dogs a bit. Anytime he tries to play with them, he likes to like force himself into where he's sitting right in front of them. And he's always looking for praise. But, I mean, he's not really that bad. It's just whenever she goes missing, whenever she's not around, he kind of gets real whiny. He's a very good dog, though. Like, when he's calm, and actually, even when he's anxious, he's not really that bad. He just likes to hang out with you a lot. How do you plan to clear Fjorm's name? Bea's sweat rolls down Radai's forehead and hangs from his red-painted cheekbone like a drop of blood. It quivers as the hunter's muscles twitch. I can't tarry here while my brother's fate remains unknown. The Enemphatha must let me go. To judge Arthwin and to clear our tribe's name, they cannot listen only to your truth. The huntress lowers her head, glancing at you. For the Enemphatha, only an impartial voice can speak for what happened. Radai whips his neck, and a drop of sweat lingering on his cheekbone flies in your direction. You mean to involve this one in Estremor? I'm really effective. You should probably involve me. She points at him, her callous finger curved like a claw. Listen to me now. Arthwin returned with proof. Your brother did not even come back. The huntress blows against the fine hairs down over her face. The tribes are split. Something must be done. She looks at you, and this one is known to speak the truth. Yes, I am a very honest fellow. As an Estremor, I can look into this without risking tension between your tribes. Radai turns to face you, his hard features betraying no emotion, and nods. You're right in claiming this. Then Emphatha would agree to listen. There's no union between you and our tribes. The huntress nods at you. Fjorm and Arthwin went to the Northweld forest beyond the Old Song Pass to hunt a giant Stelgar. Search there and return to us with the truth if you can, but be aware, Stelgar of such size, many times over their lesser kin, usually gather a big pride that follows them closely. Radai fixes his eyes on you at two glowing embers above the blood-red stripe painted across his face. Estremor, I don't expect help, but I'll do anything to know my brother's fate and to clean the stain that Arthwin has spilled on our tribe. He throws his chin back. Anything. This I claim. Alright. We're gonna help that guy with his brother because that's the kind of gentleman we are. I think I'm gonna probably stick with Twin Elms a bit today. And then tomorrow. Or actually, no, wait. Tomorrow's Saturday, isn't it? Oh, I'm not gonna be here for 2 days. Monday. We'll get back into White March 2, maybe. Try to wrap that up. Do Endless Paths. And then work on the rest of this until we beat it. I think it's going to be my plan, because I'm already here in Twin Elms now. Passage of the Six. Let's check up this way. Well, technically, that would probably be the Barbarian way, wouldn't it? Actually, wait, let's go this way. The rains have run their course and trade has returned. And with it, Tamara's impatience. Harsong Market. Aw. Excuse me, that little cat ran up. Aw, that cat ran up to me.
Yeah.
These cats know I'm a cat person.
Hey.
You're a Kickstarter. You're a child. Why do you wear such funny clothes? I was right in that I shouldn't have talked to you.
Hail, Estremor.
This tall woman is clad in furred hides. She settles a sharp, dark gaze on you. I hold here the best hides near Glanfath, hides so thick the Stelgar cannot claw through. Boots so supple they will smother the sound of your steps. What's your trade? I bear it on my skin. I sell hides from every one of Gallowayne's beasts. Estremorn come from every village to see them and know us for great hunters. Every hide bears the tale of a great hunt, and our traders bear them in turn to every corner of our lands. May I see your wares? Then here, look upon the bounty our hunters have provided us. I have so many exceptional hide armors, it's not even funny. Oh, it's meat hanging. I cannot talk. Heavily oily scent emanates from the hides. Kurt Cobain was right. You're all stupid and conceited. I miss Kurt Cobain. I miss Nirvana. I'm old enough to remember those days. Fine grained wood of the shields has been polished to a smooth, even finish. I'd pick their spears above all else, fine bows and axes too.
Eskimo.
Stick-framed woman smiles broadly as you approach. Ah, I see that you heard it. A good blade has a voice and it sings to its wielder. What weapon called you forward? Tell me about your craft. My weapons speak for themselves, and every man and woman in this market knows my worth. Even at Tamra, I bear the knowledge my father held and his mother before him. Take up one of my blades, and you hold a weapon 5 generations in the making. Derwin snorts. They say I should not waste such fine weapons on Estremorn. I say a good weapon lying on a rack is a true waste. Yeah, my girlfriend is absolutely obsessed with the Foo Fighters, so I guess that came of that. Like, she absolutely loves Dave Grohl. We've actually seen him in concert a couple times.
Builder's wisdom to you.
What are you selling anyway? Bleska's Labor, a club. Superb. +4 accuracy when attacking same target as an ally. +25 damage when attacking same target as an ally. 20% of damage restored as endurance. I have half a mind to maybe get that as a secondary weapon for Liquid in case he, for some reason, isn't using his greatsword. Starcaller. Unique Flail. Exceptional. Attacks can stun on crits. Grants minor missiles on a critical hit. 3 projectiles. That actually looks pretty nice, too. Strike hard. Warhammer. Inflicts disorienting for 5 seconds on hit, +20 attack speed, exceptional, +8 accuracy. I kind of want to go with... this might actually be better. And I have so much money to spend that, you know what? I'll spend it frivolously. Oh, wait. Curhead Pomes. Lost Meadow Mail. +1 endurance per thing. Nah. Helm of Dark Sea. +2 perception. We'll go with this flail for now. Yeah. I was big into grunge back then. I listened to a little bit of everything, though. I was never as big into punk rock, but I have a friend actually who's really into it. She actually hooked me up with a whole bunch of punk rock music. Because we were big into MP3s back then. How were they? Did you like them live?